What up, everybody? Either though Season 4 will be the final season of Power Book 2 Ghost, it's already been announced that there will be 8 new characters added to the show, and we might find out about more later on as well. But for these 8 I'm going to be talking about today, they're going to be recurring characters in Season 4, and definitely characters to keep an eye on moving forward for the next book. I say book because I've had a lot of people ask me how they're going to make a spin-off on a spin-off when I talk about the next spin-off. But that's why they're numbered Book 2, Book 3, and so on, so the stories can be continued. And I definitely think there will be at least one book that continues the story after Book 2, and possibly more. And before I get started on the new character breakdown, I do want to mention the supposed leak episode descriptions. I did read them on social media, but I won't be basing any of my videos off of them because of the fact that they could possibly be fake. Keep it in mind at the end of Raising Kanan Season 3, there was all kind of supposed leaked descriptions from Season 4. And plenty of them even mentioned Ronnie as well. So all of them were proven to be fake. So I'm taking all these descriptions with a grain of salt as well until they release the official descriptions. Getting me to the new characters for Power Book 2 Ghost Season 4. Starting with Noma's daughter, Anya Covington. We know that Anya's a student at NYC and that she doesn't know what her mother actually does for a living. So because the fact that Anya will now be on the scene will leave Noma vulnerable and exposed. Seeing Noma as a mother, we will now get to see another side of her, because when we were first introduced to Noma, she was a straight savage, cutting off a woman's hand for her ring, then later even executing one of Mecha's soldiers just for saying her name. So with the addition of Anya to the show, we can expect to get a closer look into Noma's personal life, something we didn't get to see too much of in Season 3. That was also one of her strengths. Like Effie said, one of the things that made Noma so powerful is that she was an enigma. Not changing the fact that she is definitely a savage. Also, keep it in mind that she executed Francesco Lombardi, who is believed to be Anya's father. Even though I did mention in another video that Noma could have more than one child with another baby daddy. Just because the fact that Anya and Francesco have different last names. But given that Lombardi is Anya's father, Anya might also still be grieving after the loss of her father as well. This could be a potential way that she bonds with the Tejadas, who Anya will now be exposed to as well. Getting me to Janet Stewart, who is described as Monet's spontaneous cousin. This is not Zeke's mother / auntie who raised up Zeke like she was his mother. There's still no mention of Monet's sister Lena being in Season 4. But as for Monet's cousin Janet, this could change things significantly for the Tejadas, especially if Janet doesn't know what Monet does for a living. Possibly thinking that she's simply a bar owner, and looking for answers about what happened to Monet's child Zeke and husband, why they were both killed, and why Monet was also shot. So we could possibly see both Monet and Noma in Season 3 trying to live double lives, hiding what they do for real from their families. And just how are they going to navigate this situation in the game? Janet could also end up being a problem as well. Keep it in mind that she is described to be spontaneous. Another new character who's going to be introduced in Season 4 is Detective Don Carter, who is the lead detective on an elite New York drug task force, as well as 2 other cops on the task force, Detective Nico Calder and Detective Felicia Lewis. This is after the crew just had Blanca and Jenny building a RICO case against them in Season 3. Also, keep it in mind, we're waiting to see what's going to be revealed on the flash drive that Cooper Saxe left for Junior. And could we potentially see Blanca and Junior heading over to Force to team up with Stacy Marks to take down Tommy Egan? Because the fact that they're DEA, they could easily move to Chicago to pursue Tommy. Keep it in mind that the end of Force Season 1 already teased this when she asked Medina to look into the murders of the 4 horsemen. But Medina told her he wanted her to stay focused on the local New York cases. Also, keep it in mind that the Force timeline is behind the Book 2 timeline right now. But as for Jenny Sullivan, unless she gets a promotion, she could still be a problem as a local prosecutor. But Medina did dead her case against Tariq and the Tejadas at the end of Season 3. But we could also see her being a problem for Davis McLean in Season 4 as well. Because one of the new characters who will also be introduced in Season 4 is Perla Tanaka, described as a law associate tasked with defending her boss, Davis McLean, against multiple charges. And from the looks of things, Davis's law career is going to end up a lot like Joe Proctor's. Both having promising law careers until connecting with the St. Patrick family. A couple cases Davis could be fighting in Season 4 is the murder that he admitted to Sachs, and that Sachs reported back to Jenny, as well as the charge that Blanc and Jenny were pressing Davis about at the end of Season 3 for passing a note to Diana in the interrogation room. From the looks of things, because of the failed RICO, Jenny will turn her attention on Davis with hopes of getting him to flip on Tariq. Getting me back to Don Carter and his task force for a minute. The big question to ask is, what kind of cop is Don Carter? A good cop or a bad cop? Dirty or clean? Because the Ghost IG page already teased that Detective Carter may not be the by-the-book kind of cop. Keep it in mind that part of Carter's description was said that he was on the way to be police commissioner before his wife was killed in the crossfire between rival gangs. Vowing to make the streets safer, Carter traded in his tie for a Kevlar vest and now leads an elite NYPD drug task force that elicits concrete results against drug-related violence. While his achievements are noteworthy public recognition, nothing can bring back his lost love. Another question is, what brings Carter to the show in the first place? Is it connected with Monet Tejada getting shot, or possibly Diana getting arrested? Possibly he just does the math and put 2 and 2 together that Monet got shot soon after her daughter got caught on Stansfield campus with a couple of birds. And this was right after Monet's husband was brutally killed in the streets. So it's likely that Carter's just doing his job by looking into the Tejadas. But I also brought up in another video that Carter could possibly be Monet's new lover, and that they could possibly bond over Carter losing his wife and Monet losing her husband and son. Keep it in mind that Monet was already in a relationship with a dirty cop, Detective Ramirez, in Season 1. So even though nothing about Carter's description says he's dirty, I think there's still a good chance that he's in the game one way or another. And also concerning Carter's wife, who was killed in the crossfire between 2 gangs. What was his wife doing in the middle of a gang shootout? Was his wife also a former cop? And could she have been killed by any current character who's on the show, possibly a young and wild Kane Tejada? Get me to the last 2 new characters added to Season 4, and that is Stokely and Elle, members of a popular hip-hop group at Stansfield, with Elle being the group's lead singer. In Season 3, we got our first look at Stansfield open mic when Salim read his poem to Diana. With the additions of Stokely and Elle to the show, it does look like we could also be seeing more of the Stansfield open mic, making me to ask the question, what role could it play in Season 4? And could it be connected to Tariq and Braden's new hustle? And because of this group's success, could we possibly see Tariq and Braden getting into the music industry and possibly investing into a record label? And we could possibly see the next book focused in the music industry, similar to Empire, but Power's version. Keep it in mind that Michael Rainey Jr. said in his most recent interview on Forbes that he has a passion for music and he wants to put his acting and his love for music side by side. So this could also be a hint of the direction of the next book. Bruce Chandria is also a member of the hip-hop group as well. So regarding this group, could Elle or Stokely end up being a love interest for any of the current cast? And could we finally see Bruce Chandria hooking up with somebody this season as well? Keep it in mind that they teased Bruce Chandria hooking up with Tariq on social media prior to Season 3. So could we see Tariq and Bruce Chandria and Braden and Elle in Season 4? And there you have it. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.